So the table has already been done for you in such a calculation to flow. It's, the way it is arranged is based on the data that has been given there. So in short, you calculate using the table. You don't calculate it individually. No. There's a population there. The current year. Hello? Can you get
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes,
All right,
we can
okay.
get you.
Turning to some. So the data has been given based on the current year. If you look at the specification of the question, it says the next 2 years, right? So we are focusing based on the current year and the next 2 years. So that's why this 10,000 that has been given here, by the way, you don't need to have these. Let me just get rid of these. So the 10,000 is the total population, right? So the population growth rate as described in the data here, percentage increase in population per year is 2%. So this is the 2% there. So let's begin our calculation now. 2% of 10%. What is the value there? You have your calculators. Be quick. We should all be calculating, please, so that we participate.
It should be 200,000, sir.
It's
That's
200,000.
or 10 million.
Yeah, so that 200,000 should be added to 10 million. What value do you get? Remember, we are adding on to the existing population. So what value are you getting?
It will be 10,200. I mean, 10,200.
10,000, you are sure?
No, 10 million.
Sir, it's 10 million 200,000.
10 million 200,000, right?
Yes, sir.
10 million 200,000.
Sorry?
This is 10 million 200,000, right?
Yes.
You have to put the commas there so that you don't understand. Okay. In the second year, what would be the value? 2% of 10 million 200,000 will give you what value? % of 10 million.
204,000.
Huh?
It will give us
204,000.
20,400,000.
What's the value? Hello? Can you get me?
Yes, sir. It will give us 204,000.
204,000, you're sure?
204,000, which is 204,000.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, that is true.
Yes,
2%. It should give us
2%.
Okay, listen.
give us 20.
2% of this. Okay, it's 2%
Yes.
of this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
204, sir.
To give us 204,000.
204,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No.
You know what?
So are we doing it?
Yes.
I think it should give us the 20,400.
20,400.
No.
Oh, that's too little.
No.
It's 204.
It's too
It's
little.
204,000.
Yeah, the same way Gibson said, they said the same answer, sir.
That is
It is
204,000.
204,000.
Okay, now add 204 to 10.2 million. What do you get?
Plus.
We are 204,000. getting
10,404,000.
Exactly. 10,404,000, right? Like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like this, right? Okay, now I want you to remember this.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I like the final answer. Like after we did the 2% of 10,200,000. Then you add the answer, the product that we got. We added to the year one forecast. Like I'm a little behind here. Like that, the final answer.
Okay. Remember, we are saying population growth rate, right? So when we operate 2% against 10.2, we get what? 204,000, right? We have to add it to the existing population. The existing population here in year one is 10.2. When we find 2% of 10.2, what we'll find should be added to 10.2. So always add it to the existing population to get the focus for the next population. Is it clear there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because of the table limits you to show the 200. To show for example, the table limits you to show 204,000. You just have to add, because the table is more like a summary. All right, let's move on quickly. So now, this is the total population of women, right? In a given, now we have, this is the total of women in the country. The focus for the next 2 years, right? So now, not all women are going to fall pregnant, no. From the statistics, the health management information systems data, who is near a chicken run there now? I'm going to log you out. Okay, so here, not all women are going to fall pregnant. No. From the HMIS data, the health management logistics data, only 2% fall pregnant, right? Now here it's diagonal, it's like this. Okay. What is 2% of 10 million? Quickly. Can we find
200,000?
It's
200,000, sir.
Okay. There we are. 200,000. What is 2% of 10.2 million?
204,000.
Okay, great. And the other year two, then 2% of 10.4. That's the value. Hey, what's the value? I have to be quick.
208,000. 208,080.
And 8.
208,080, right? Okay, put
Yes.
a comma there. You are right. So in the coming years, only 2% of women out of the total population of women or women of childbearing age, only 2% will fall pregnant. All right, so we've accounted for that. So in the current year, only 200,000 from the total population. In the following year, only 204,000. In the other year, 208,080. Now, not all women who give birth, right, in facilities. Only 70%, according to the statistics, right? Facility births mean women who give birth in the hospital. So there will only be 70%. So it's diagonal also. Now, this data is what you call services data. It's still, you know, obtained from the mother and child health units of hospitals, as well as the Central Statistical Office. So when the two data sets are compared, there's always a disparity. So in case you want to understand how this data is obtained. So what are the values for the following years? Current year, year 1 and year 2.
Current of 7 million.
7 million.
7 million.
Current
That's
year, it will be
70%
140,000.
10.
Huh?
So I use 10 million. Sorry.
It is 140,000.
140,000, you are right.
Yes, sir.
The other year?
142,800.
Are we all agreeing? Let's confirm from others. Otherwise, we'll find the wrong figure. 100 and what? 42,000 what?
800.
142,800.
And then year two?
We have 145,656.
656.
56. 656.
Okay, just a minute.
All right, sir.
$600 and what? 656, like this. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So here, of all the women who fall pregnant, only 70% will give birth in the health facility. So as you can see, the numbers are doing what? They are dwindling, right? Because we are removing all these confounding factors for us to arrive at a quantity that if we bought, will neither overbuy or underbuy, right? No.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. You can get me. I want to ask something. Like, I was logged out, like the network trip. So I don't know how you arrive at this 70%, like the values. Just explain to me a bit because the network is tripping. So
Okay,
I didn't get the concept.
Okay, the 70% is services data. As women are attending antenatal clinics, those records, right? They are the ones that to arrive at this 70%. I won't ask you to find the services percentage. It will be given for convenience's sake. But in the real world, right? If you're going to be a consultant in South Sudan, all right, you'll have to go to those records and come up with an estimate. Okay. So for academic purposes, this will be done for you. But in the real world situation, you are going to do it yourself. So don't say I wasn't taught this. No. Just going in the files, getting your data, and also going to the Central Statistical Office. Then you find that what you find that the OPD differs from the total population. Is that clear? Is that very clear?
No, sir, no, like I want just you to help me, like how did you arrive at 140,000, like the procedure, so I want to know, because I didn't get you properly. Like the calculation that they did, my friend, so like I'm behind.
Okay, we are saying not all women who fall pregnant are going to give birth in a health facility, because magnesium sulfate will only be used in those who attend the hospital, right? Those who attend the hospital are the ones that will be given magnesium sulfate. Those who give birth at home, they won't be given. So the 70% here, we want to calculate. We want to account for women who visit the facility, those who are pregnant. Is that clear? You still don't understand?
I'm clear, sir. No, that means you did 70% of 200,000 in short, right?
Exactly, and 70% of 204 and 70% of 208.
Thank you, sir. That's why I wanted to clear. Yes, I'm clear now, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, now understand this. Not all women will develop preeclampsia, right? That's the reality, isn't it? Out of all those who give birth in hospital, not all of them will develop preeclampsia. So from the HMIS data, the number of preeclampsia cases that were seen, that were recorded on the treatment chart, it was found to be 2%, right? So can we do 2% of all these?
Okay, so 2% of 140 is 2,800.
Okay. We'll be logged out soon. Yes, and then?
2,800, I mean.
Okay, let's log in when we are logged out, okay? 2,800.
Yes.
What do you mean? 2,800 is like this. Okay, I get you. Like this, right? You mean this? The next?
2 8s and 3 0, yeah. Then the other one is 2,856.
Okay, then the other one? The last one is what? Is it very difficult to mute our microphones?
Sir.
You have a question?
No, contribution.
Yes.
On the current calculation, it should be 28,000. Then the next should be 28,560. Then the next one, the same calculation, you just add the 000.
I add the zeros where?
It should be 28,000, not 2,800.
No, it's 2,800. 2% of 140 is 2,800. Just do it. 0.02 times 140. What's your answer? What do you get? 28.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Remember what I said. Don't multiply 20 by 28. You overstate, right? You convert it to a decimal value. Okay, now here, let's understand this statement, right? There's a statement here. Compliance to this recommendation is 50%. However, there are plans to scale up the use to 90% over 5 years. Okay. To do here, we are simply factoring the percentage increase per year, which is set at 10%. So the compliance rate is how much? 50%. Scale to 90% over the 5-year period. So what this means is that in the current year, you are told that the compliance is what? We still have people who haven't muted their microphones. It's so sad. Eh? Okay, so what this means is that in the first year, there will be an increase of 10% per year. Okay, so if the increase is 10%, in the first year, you are going to be, the compliance will be 60%, and then the compliance will be 70%. So we are merely adding a 10%. This is our forecast based on the statement here, increase from 50 to 90% in 5 years. So if we are focusing for 5 years, the next value here would have been 80%, then 90% in the 5th year. But since we are focusing for 2 years, it would just be 70%. Now, compliance here means that prescribers are complying with the treatment guidelines, because it's not only magnesium that can be used in eclampsia. You can also use other drugs like phenytoin. Now, I just want to ask, for the sake of interest, we are looking at regimens here. Why can't we use diazepam? Or why can't we use the conventional antipsychotics to stop the convulsions? Do we have any contribution? Why don't we use diazepam?
Hello, sir. Maybe I think due to the side effects of this antipsychotic that we learned, have got major side effects. So sometimes we can use them, find that we can actually affect even the mother, even including the babies. I think that's a major reason. Side effects. They have got long term, most of them.
Side effects, right? Most anticonvulsants.
Yes.
The benzodiazepam crosses the placenta, so it will have CNS effect on the unborn baby. All right, so here we've understood, right, that the compliancy for prescribing this would be a challenge also. Sometimes it's not only preferences for other regimens, no. Sometimes it's availability of trained staff, because this magnesium can only be administered by a gynecologist. All right? It can also be administered by senior nurses if they are trained. But if the personnel is not there, then it won't be prescribed. For example, a referral will be done to UTH from a first level hospital. Why? Because they've got no one to administer this magnesium. Then that becomes an issue. And that issue will be classified as compliance, right? Now, So now let's do this. What is 50% of 28? And 60% of
1,400.
okay, then the other one. The other value 60% of 2856.
It's 1,713. Hello?
1,714.
149 times 179 times 2000. What are the values? Let's start with the current year. What's the value?
12,600.
Can you get me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, give me the values.
For
How
the
many
current year, it's 12,600.
The one.
It's 12,000, sir. 12.
4,000 what?
For the current year, it's 12,600. 12,000. For the current year.
You're breaking. You're breaking.
No, what I'm saying is you have written 2,600. It's supposed to be 12.
Huh? Which year? Current year is out. What's the value?
The current
When
year,
you
it is
multiply 9 by 1,
12,600.
what do you? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Give me the value for the current year.
It's 12,600.
The first year. Let's all participate. Eh?
15,000.
Huh?
Sir, I'm behind,
15,426.
I'm behind on how you arrived on this figure, the 12,600, the formula.
I'm simply multiplying diagonally. 9 times 1, 4.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay. Then what's the current, the first year is, what's the value?
15,000.
15,000 what?
426.
426.
426. Like this.
Yes. Yes.
The other year?
18,351.
13,000.
18.
18,351.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So this will be your number of ampules that you are going to buy. Why? You are not using the consumption method. Yes, failed. Failed. Do you have a hand?
Yes, sir. I'm a little bit behind on the 2% of number of women developing preeclampsia there, because on the question is where I saw that we don't have the data for that 2%. So I don't know where we got it.
The 2% has been given. It was already calculated for us from the HMIS data, the Health Management Information Systems. That's where the data was derived from. It will always be given for academic purposes. But in practice, when you are a consultant in South Sudan, you will have to calculate it yourself. That's what I said. Are you clear now? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you didn't have the consumption data. This question assumes that there was no consumption at all. Neither was there a proxy consumption. So you are relying on morbidity data, the morbidity method. to arrive at estimates, right? So these are individual ampules, but in practice, you find that these drugs, especially injectables, they will never be delivered as each. They will be delivered in pack sizes. So the pack size for magnesium, the size of the ampule of magnesium, normally to be maybe 50 or 100 per box, right? So if the question went further to give you the data about the boxes, and it asks you to calculate how many number of boxes. It's a very simple calculation. You just divide the pack size into the individual ampules. Then it will give you the number of boxes. Now, pack size is quite a challenge for new practitioners because people haven't understood really what a pack size is. Now, let me say that a pack size is just a storage convenience. It's just a convenience by which something has to be stored. When you are ordering magnesium from the bulk store or from the district or from medical stores or from CHAS, you won't order it as individual ampules in a plastic, no. It will be in a box of 100. The idea is those are brittle materials. They can break anytime if you put it in a plastic. So the box will hold the ampules conveniently. Now you find that when people are ordering, instead of converting the pack size first, he ignores the pack size and goes to order, like here. Let's say the pack size was 100. It's normally represented like this. 12,600 by 100. These are common errors in procurement. They are famously called the zero errors, right? So you find that at a facility for a big hospital, he wanted to order just 12,000 ampules, but he ends up ignoring the pack size. What is 12 by 6? When we add the two zeros to 12.6, what value are you going to get? Can you get me? Hello?
Yes, sir, but I don't know what are you trying to talk about. I don't understand. Like the beginning. How do you, like what we're explaining? Like I can't really understand what is going on.
What I'm saying is that these are individual ampules, right? 2,600 constitutes the individual ampules, but reality does not allow you to physically procure these things as individual ampules. You procure them as pack sizes, right? For example, if you find your figure to be 12.6 and the supplier tells you that the packs I have come in 100, right? You have to divide by 100. Like this. So it means you're only going to order 126 cartons or packs. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
It is clear,
Yes,
right? Even as you
sure,
go in
sir.
practice, hello? You have a hand. Is anyone not clear about what I'm just explaining? Are we all clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we are clear.
Yes, I'm trying to tell you that in reality, don't be excited when you find a figure. Always pay attention to the pack size. Now, even when you're ordering from a district store or medical stores, it's a common error because your ELMIS has got a column with pack sizes, right? 100, 50 or whatever. Now, the mistake is, after you calculate, you know, what you require, or your order quantity, if it's at facility level, in ELMIS, it is always a pack size. So you find that instead of you converting first to this scenario, right? 1 by 100. 100 means that's how they are packed. You see that what I mean? You find that someone, instead of adjusting this to 126 in the ELMIS or any procurement system, right? He forgets and orders like this. When you order like this, when you add the 2 here, what do you get in terms of the value there? It would be 100 and what? 26,000, right?
It would be 1,260,000.
So these are the cases where, as you are receiving, you just realize, no, this is too much. I didn't order this. Have you seen? So what I wanted you to understand is the aspect of pack sizes. They shouldn't confuse you at all. All right? When we are calculating order quantities in our store, depending on what we are using, sometimes we tend to calculate as individual ampules used. Let's not forget to convert to the pack size, right? That the supplier is offering us. Because if we are not careful, we are going to overorder, and that will be a lot of wastage of resources. Is that clear? Now,
yes, sir.
When I give you a question, I would deliberately put the pack size in the data, right? So that you begin to be aware that pack size can be a challenge if I'm not careful. But what you should know is that always calculate these things as individual tablets or ampules. But with tablets, it's not much of a problem because it's fixed. But ampules, injectables normally are a challenge when it comes to ordering because people just ignore the pack size. They've never understood it. Okay, so what I'm trying to emphasize is that for injectables, please always calculate them as individual ampules, then divide them by the pack size that is existing at your supplier. But in the government setup, because you'll be using the electronic management, logistics information systems, the pack sizes are there. So as you are putting the data, make sure you are converting the pack sizes. And the best way to do it is use Excel. Because if you're not going to use Excel, you're going to overorder a number of injectables. And in the public supply system, when you overorder, it means you are starving your neighbor. If you overorder as Livingstone, it means people in Mansa, Northern Province, won't have the stock. You've drawn all the stock because you didn't care about the pack size. Okay, so this is what I'll do. And then also, in this example, I haven't shown you the actual amounts in value, right? So drugs are ordered in dollars from the international market. They have to be converted to kwacha and then multiplied by the quantity that you find to arrive at the total cost that you should prepare for that purchase. So a typical question would be a very practical one. It will have pack sizes, it will have foreign currency, local currency, it will have percentages like this. So don't forget to do the conversions as you are working out a problem. Any questions at this stage? Sorry, I think we had a lot of technical challenges. Any questions?
Sir, please, I am kindly asking if at all you can just talk, repeat on the in terms of the currency. Like if I saw is in dollars, like now finding the total amount of money that you can use to purchase the drugs. Like how are we going to do that? It's why I want us to be clear.
Well, you'll be given the dollar rate. Like for example, the dollar is at 18.4 kwacha, right? Sorry, I can't show because I'm not using a PowerPoint. The dollar is at 18.4 kwacha, right? And then one ampere of magnesium is 0.6 cents. Are you able to convert the equivalent number of cents in kwacha? You want me to show that? That's the mathematics that.
So I think the best way you can help us to show us, because we're going to be confused at that time, because I think
No,
this question will be very hard.
No, you cannot be confused. When you are converting currencies, you just use direct proportion. That's all. That's all I can say. Just use direct proportion.
Okay.
If 0.6 cents is equivalent to 18 kwacha, what about $50 is how many kwachas? That's all you need to do. It's a very simple calculation. Okay. Any other question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes. What do you want to say?
Yes. So, in this example, if we are given the pack size,
yes,
are you saying would have divided it into the number of ampules?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Sorry?
Yes, you divide them in the number of ampules for you to get the number of small boxes that you are going to order.
Sure. Oh, thank you.
Okay, now before you go, what have I said about pack sizes? What is the common error there? Both academically and in practice. Huh?
You mentioned of zero error.
The zero error, right? Inflating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't expect you to even be confused with a pack size when you begin to practice. For you, I expect to understand things. For you, I expect you to just hit the ground running. Okay?
Oh,
so
sure.
these are the issues, right? So for yes, there are hands, two hands. We have less than a minute before we wind up. Any question? There are two hands raised, right?
Yes, sir. In a case where when you divide the package number and the number of ampules that you have, it gives you a decimal. How do you handle that?
You round off. Very normal. You round off. Any other question? Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Hello.
We'll meet you next Tuesday. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, sir.
All right.
All right.